Hi, this is Start 3D Modeling channel, and in this example I will show you some interesting operations of plasticity. We will start a new project, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new content. And here we will begin by creating a rectangular prism. Select the corner box command, and as the first point select the origin of the coordinate system, then press Tab to specify the dimensions. Here, enter 150 as the dimension of this side. Next, press Tab again and enter 100 as the dimension of this side. Then press Enter to confirm this. Now press the H key to specify the height. Enter 40 and then press Enter and Enter again to finish this command. Now, from this rectangular prism, we will create a box. Select the upper face of the solid. To do this, switch to Face Selection, select the face, and choose the Hollow a Solid command. Here, specify the wall thickness as 3 mm, that is, simply enter -3 so that a solid with walls of 3 mm thickness is created inward. However, I will cancel this. To create such a box, we can also approach it in another way. Using the Hollow a Solid operation is, of course, the easiest and quickest way, but I want to show you a few other functions of plasticity. I will do this by creating edges of the solid based on this face, which I will then offset by a specified value. Okay, I have the solid face selected, and now, to switch from face selection to edge selection, use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+2. Now we have the edges of this solid selected. Of course, here we only have 4 edges, but if this solid were of a different shape and had more edges, this way of switching from face selection to edge selection simply facilitates selecting the edges. If you would like to create 2D geometry based on these edges of the solid, that is, if you simply want to create a curve based on this selection, use the keyboard shortcut Shift+D and click OK here. We have created a flat geometry based on the edges of the solid. Now I will use the offset operation. I press the O key on the keyboard, and this operation allows me to create an offset of this geometry. I will create an inward offset to a value of -3 mm. So I press the D key, enter -3, and press Enter, and Enter again to confirm this. And I have something like this. Now, based on this area, I will create a cut of material from this solid. I select this area, drag it down, set the value of this extrusion to 37 mm. So I press the D key and enter 37. Here, note that the positive direction of the extrusion is directed this way. If you find that the positive direction of the extrusion is going this way, and the negative direction of the extrusion is downwards, simply use a negative value. To immediately remove the material from this larger rectangular prism during this operation, press the W key on the keyboard and select the solid from which we are removing this material. Click OK to confirm this. Now I will hide flat geometries and we have something like this. As I mentioned, we would have done this much faster by using the hollow solid operation, but here I wanted to show you how to create 2D geometry based on the edges of the solid and how to apply the offset operation. Next, we will create dividers in this box, and for this purpose I will create auxiliary geometry. First, activate the temporary construction plane, select this face, and press the spacebar. And now, the temporary construction plane has been activated. Now select the line drawing tool and draw a line from this point with a length of 30 mm. Click here at this point to set the starting point of the line. Drag the cursor in this direction to set the direction of this line and press the Tab key. Enter 30 and press Enter. We have created the line, and this line will be an auxiliary line. Let's create another line. Select the line drawing tool, and for the starting point of the line, choose this point. Drag the cursor in this direction to set the direction of drawing the line. Press the Tab key and enter 30, then press Enter. And we have 2 auxiliary lines. These lines are poorly visible in this view, but they are here and we will use them shortly. Now select the rectangle drawing tool. When you hover near the end of this line, a snap will appear that defines the end of the line, and at this point we will start drawing the rectangle. Click here with the left mouse button, and as the second point of the rectangle, hover over this line. Now we will set the width of this rectangle. Keep the cursor on this line so that the snap for this edge is activated. Press the Tab key and enter 3 mm as this dimension, then press Enter. Thanks to having the snap active here, the second dimension of the rectangle has just been linked to this solid. Now we will create a second rectangle. Select the rectangle drawing tool and place the first corner of the rectangle at the end of this line. Click here with the left mouse button and similarly hover the cursor over this line. A snap is activated here. Press the Tab key, enter 3 and press Enter, and we have created such a rectangle. Now we will close the construction plane, and based on these two geometries, we select them with the Shift key and add extrusion so that this extrusion reaches the upper surface of this solid. To do this precisely, press the Control key and drag it upwards. When the snap is activated, release the left mouse button, release the Control key, and the extrusion has just been made to this face. Click OK, and we have something like this. Here, two new solids have been created. I will turn off the visibility of flat geometries, and now, if you want, you can create additional dividers. You can do this, for example, by switching to solid selection, selecting this solid and using the rectangular array command here. Now we can create additional dividers, and we can do this by using this reference point to finish the rectangular array at this point. If we do it this way, by clicking here with the left mouse button to finish the rectangular array, we specify the number of elements, for example, 4 elements. I will now click OK. Notice that at this point there are two solids. I select one solid and press Delete to remove it, and here we have one more solid left. Another copy of this solid has just been created at the location where such a solid already was, but okay, we leave it as it is. At this moment all these solids are separate solids, and we will combine them into one solid. To do this, select all the solids. I click on the first solid, hold down the Shift key, click on the last one, and all these solids are selected. Then I move the cursor to the workspace area, press the Q key to activate the Boolean operation, and press Q again to activate the solid union. Click OK, and the solids have been combined. Now I will show you an interesting thing. First, I will switch to face selection, and now when I select the upper face of this solid, it is one single face. I would like to split this face, and we will do it by creating a line here. Drawing this line roughly like this. Okay, I right-click to finish drawing the line. I would like this line to be the dividing line of this face. To do this, we will use the Imprint operation. Press the F key and type Imprint here to activate this operation. Select this operation, and now we select the solid. As you can see, such lines have appeared. We can click the Hide Occlusion button to remove these lines from the side faces, and we click OK, although at this moment that doesn't matter much. I will turn off visibility of this line, and here such a line has been created. This line divided this face. Now, when I click on this face and this face are separate faces. Now, we will create a slope here and use the rotate function for this purpose. Select this face and activate the rotate operation by pressing the R key on the keyboard. And here, if we do it this way, adding rotation, we will create something like this. This is not quite what I want, so I press Escape to cancel it. I press the R key again to activate the rotate operation, and here we will change the pivot point. Press the V key and select, for example, a point on this edge as the pivot point. Now, when we add rotation, we will create something like this, and we click OK. In this way, we have created such a solid. Here, If, for example, you want to remove this face, simply select this face and drag it in this direction, click OK, and we have created such a solid. In this video, I wanted to show you how to divide a face into two separate parts and how the rotate operation works. This operation is not only for rotating solids, but we can also select a face and apply this operation to a face. And we will end here. Thank you for watching. Please check out other videos on this channel and subscribe to this channel.